Good evening and welcome everyone here on Instagram, the American Artist Professional League. This is our very first Instagram Live as part of our 5 o'clock club on Thursdays, where we're going to be interviewing you, our members. And we're going to start with our board members so you can get to know all of us, especially of us new ones. But we want to get to know you as well, all you members of the American Artist Professional League. It's going to be a lot of fun, super informal. So if you're nervous about saying, hey, I want to be a part of this, but I'm not really sure, it's okay. Don't worry. We're not that scary. We're all artists. We're all interested in realism-oriented representational art. I can talk, I swear. By the way, my name is John Bandish. I'm one of the new board members. I'm helping out here on the social media side. I'm the social media director, if you will. I'm saying hello to you all from sunny coastal Delaware. It's still a hot day here. I think it's actually still almost 90 degrees wherever you're at here. And that's the best part about being a part of an organization like this, is that we're from all over. Yes, the American Artist Professional League is 95 years strong going right now, and we're based out of New York City. But you can be over on the West Coast. You could be all the way out in Hawaii. We have people that are international. We have some Canadians, I believe, and I know in the past we've had some people from all the way over in China, which is crazy, but we're all interested in representational, realism-oriented art. So it's super cool that we're all here together, and we're going to be interviewing Julia Bright just a little bit. She's saying hi. I'm seeing Aki, our president. Hey, Aki, how you all doing? So before we get started, we're just going to wait for Julia to sign on here in just a little bit. But I want to plug right now, if you go to AAPLinc.org, our website, for the studio auction. It's going to be starting on the 15th of July at what I have here, 9 a.m. And we're going to go all the way to July 25th until 6 p.m. Go to bidsquare.com. And this is a really unique opportunity to bid on some of the best representational art that you're ever going to see. We have some amazing art and artists that are part of our organization. You do have to be a member to be able to join our shows. But you're going to see drawings, painting, sculpture, and even, yes, some mixed media. So there's a lot of really cool stuff. Everybody does some really awesome work. I'm super excited to get in there. My wife just signed on. I think we're live. Hopefully we're live. Let me make sure we get this. Accept. I think it's working. I don't know if it's working. There we go. I see the split screen. Hey.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hello. I had a little bit of a difficulty joining. I don't know why I didn't. Oh, now I'm on.
Okay. There we go. Hey, yeah. That's okay. Well, we're not exactly tech savvy people here, but that's okay. That's why we're going to keep this super informal, right?
Yeah.
There's no
Hold
pressure
on.
for any of the rest of the members when we're done interviewing the rest of the board members to feel any pressure. This is Instagram. It's fun. And we're happy to just say hi to one another. And you and I are new board members to the American Artist Professional League.
Yeah, John, can you hold on just a moment? I'm going to
Sure.
try to join from my laptop. And
Not a
if
problem.
not, I'll be right with you. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So anyway, everybody, we're going to keep up. We're going to stay live here while Julia tries to get a different connection on here. And again, if you go to AAPLinc.org, that's our website, you can also sign up today to be a member. One of the cool things about us as an organization, right, is when you submit, all of the members of the board will review, and we all talk about everyone's applications. So and then we give you feedback. There are other organizations that don't give you the feedback. They just say whether you're accepted, not accepted. But that's one aspect of many to the American Artists Professional League that is really great. You get feedback from us, and I think that's fantastic, right? Because if you want to be, if you want to grow and learn and get better at your craft, which I think we all do, right? What better way than to get feedback, positive or negative, right? I appreciate the negative feedback more than I appreciate the positive ones. I like when somebody doesn't like my stuff. There we go. We got Julia back. Hey,
All right.
we're back.
Sorry about that. A little connection problem here.
That's
We've
okay.
had trouble with the
That's all the
internet
tech
all
fun of
day.
it, right?
Yeah.
Well, we've got a bunch of people logged on already. I see people saying hi. Hello to everybody. So once again, my name's John. I'm one of the new board members here, and I'm coming to you live from sunny coastal Delaware, just inland from Bethany Beach and Rehoboth Beach, Delaware area. And Julia, why don't you take it from here? Introduce yourself for everybody. Who are you? What are you doing on the board of directors for the American Artists Professional League?
Hi, everybody. My name is Julia Bright, and I am an oil painter from Boulder, Colorado. I've been painting for about 25 years now, and I mostly do seascapes, landscapes, still lifes. And I joined the board about a year and a half ago. And the reason I joined the board is because I really believe in its mission. Its mission of promoting representational art and promoting artists who do representational art, whether they're mid-career or professional artists, or they're just students coming up. We actually have some scholarships for students that are studying art, and it's a fantastic thing to be a part of. I'm very, very proud to be on the board.
I'm taking mental notes of everything that you just said. So if somebody asks me, I'm going to say the exact same thing, right? and it's true, right? I think we're all in the same boat, right? Because representational art is sort of not in vogue. It really hasn't been in vogue, I feel like, in a large sense. It's never going away, and I don't think it ever would. But in a more popular sense in art school, at least for me, and I went to undergrad about 20 years ago. I'm dating myself now. It wasn't, I had to seek out that knowledge and education more specifically than the curriculums were sort of pushing or promoting, if you will. So,
yeah.
Well, you've already answered the first couple of my questions. This is great.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, John. I think, but I am not sure that it's not in vogue, actually. I feel like representational art is actually coming back. And the reason I think is very simple, because people can really relate to it. And it speaks to them on an emotional level, because it's art that they can understand and relate to, in terms of, you know, being a part of it, being in nature and seeing nature represented in art is an amazing thing. And I think people really, really, really love it. And they understand it very easily, rather than staring at a blank canvas, you know, like a blank gray canvas in a museum that is titled Gray.
Right, there's a whole lot to unpack with something like that. You have to have training from art school to really kind of be able to at least understand it and be able to ask questions for yourself. So I guess that leads into another question of mine, which is, well, how long have you been making art? Do you have a background from formal schooling?
So I've been making art for as long as I can remember. Actually, I started when I was 5 years old with architectural drawings. I actually wanted to be an architect when I started out. But my conservative Russian parents thought that if you didn't have anything to do with math or science, you were just a worthless person. So I actually ended or started my life in engineering school, and then switched to business. However, I have been painting professionally for 25 years, not full time though. I had a very successful career in marketing, working for places like Whole Foods and Celestial Seasonings. I don't know if you're familiar, but it's a tea company out of Boulder where I live. And Boppy, and all kinds of various consumer companies. But 3 years ago, I actually made the decision to jump in and be a full-time artist. And I never looked back since.
Oh, wow. Was there something, a catalyst that made you decide, whether it was anything that you are comfortable sharing, I should also ask too, that made you decide to say, that old life is that old life. This is what I want to do now?
Yeah, I've been planning for it for a long time, but the catalyst, you're absolutely right. There was a catalyst. The year was 2020. It was a hard year for a lot of people. It was especially a hard year for me because my mom died.
I'm sorry to hear
And
that.
my mom died at a very young age from cancer. And I started to realize that time is short. And if we don't make our dreams happen now, when is the right time then? And so I decided to take the plunge, and honestly, I have never been happier. I wake up every morning and I thank my lucky stars that I get to go upstairs into my studio and do what I do all day, every day. It's amazing.
It really is something special, right? And I think that's one of the great parts about the arts, as far as all the arts, whether it's music, painting, drawings, singing, dancing, whatever. The arts are there, and not just this, but I think in one sense, they're a big part of it, is to remind us that life is short and precious, and enjoy it. And yeah, that's one of the great parts about art. That's a great story. Thank you for sharing that with everybody. I imagine that it's it's something that other people can draw some strength from too, that they're saying to themselves, can I do this? Am I, it's a scary thing to do that, right? I've been drawing and painting professionally now for I don't even know how long, but I didn't have the, let's say, the support per se until meeting my wife, who's watching this right now. So I'm very appreciative of her. She's awesome, right? She's my rock and my rock star, right? But yeah, so it's that's a really powerful stuff. So anybody that's out there that's listening in on this, that's going to listen to this at some other point in time, life is short. Make art.
Life is short.
Right.
And part of the reason why I am alive is to bring beauty into the world. And that's part of the reason why I love representational art, is because I think when it's good and when it's done well, it is so beautiful. Sometimes I look at paintings that other people have done and I cannot take my eyes off of them, and they stay with me for such a long time. And I think, one of the questions that you sent to me before this interview was, what piece of artwork would you like to own and why? And this
Good
just seems
question.
like a good time to bring it up, actually. But when I was 10 years old, I was at the Hermitage Museum at the Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg, and I saw Rembrandt's Danae, and I was completely floored. I couldn't believe my eyes. I couldn't believe somebody did that just on a flat canvas with nothing but brush and pieces of paint. The light emanating from the figure and the incredible just composition. And of course, I didn't realize at the time what it was that actually made me love this painting so much, but I've never ever forgotten it. And I've analyzed it back and forth since then, and realized that everything about that painting is well thought out and incredibly well executed. And and there's also not just craftsmanship, but artistry in there. So,
Yeah.
to
Again,
answer
we all want
questions
to be
you haven't
Rembrandt,
asked.
right? Yeah, that's definitely, wow. That's and that's interesting, because I think the more art friends that I talk to about something like that, and I've posed that question many times over a cold beer here or there with friends, or a glass of wine, and it's interesting listening to the different types of work that people say. But I found predominantly, maybe not all the time, but a lot of the time, most people are referencing some of the classical works of art, which, to your point, you were saying earlier, that representational and realism oriented art is sort of back in vogue a little bit more now. I would happen to agree as well, and I think it's interesting that that those are things that a lot of people, like yourself and myself, mine would be Botticelli's Birth of Venus.
Oh,
It's in the
I
Uffizi
love
in
that one too.
Florence.
Yeah.
I'll just quickly say that I stood there looking at that painting, and I'd seen the painting, of course, in books and textbooks back when, before the phones and the internet, when we all had, books. Imagine that.
Yeah.
So I'd seen the painting, and I was very keenly aware of it, and I was happy to see it. And all of a sudden, when I saw the real thing, I was floored. My entire group that I was with had left not just the gallery, they left the museum entirely. And I had no idea. I was just standing there, and I didn't even realize how much time had passed. So I appreciate
I get you. I've been known to spend 6 to 8 hours in a museum like d'Orsay, and I don't know if you know this. You probably do as a professional artist, but I've read studies that they've done of how long people actually stand in front of a painting in a museum, how long they take, and the average amount of time is 2 seconds. Then they read the side note for another 10 seconds, and then they move on.
That's
And
incredible.
so, yeah, people don't take enough time in front of paintings, and they don't realize, how much they could actually learn if they took the time to examine the painting, if they took even 10 minutes to examine a painting and look at various elements. And they don't realize, lay people don't realize how carefully professional artists actually look at paintings, what they look at. I actually have a newsletter on my website that I write every week, and one of the newsletters explained how to actually look at paintings in museums to get the most out of your visit. So, it's a fascinating thing to know for people who are not professional artists.
I remember coming across that fact. I was lucky enough to, as part of my undergrad, I went to Temple University's Tyler School of Art, and they have a campus in Rome. So I got a chance to spend a semester there, and it was amazing. And I remember coming across that fact there, where specifically, I don't recall now, but I remember them also saying that if you go to the Vatican museums and you spent that 2 seconds on every single thing that they have, whether it's on view or not, it would still take you over 7 years to look at everything. And it was just like, wow, that's incredible how much stuff they have. So
Yeah. That's why you
now,
can't.
right? Kind of forwarding on this, right? If there is anything, and if this is maybe that thing, or if there's something else about the art world right now that you would wish that you could change.
So many things. Well, there's several things. Okay, so AI, I think, is on everyone's mind. I've seen some really interesting AI works. And what I've noticed, they're very catchy. When you look at them, they're extremely catchy and they look beautiful at first. But if you take the time to examine, as we've talked about, examining art in person, you take the time to examine an AI work, you see that the humanity is actually missing there. The creativity, the certain je ne sais quoi that is part of what makes an artwork beautiful is actually not there. And so, I think AI has its place in society and has some very interesting uses, but I would not use AI to create work. And the second thing that I would really love to change about the art business is, and actually it's probably the same issue in all creative pursuits, how women actually are not getting their due recognition in art throughout the ages as well as now. I mean, you would think in 2023 it would be prevalent. But I bet if you examine all the major art awards and important shows and important positions, women do not make up a huge percentage of that. And I would love to see that change.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so all great things too, right? Hopefully, if that is the case, let's hope that can change and everybody gets a fair shake, right? Fair for everybody.
Yeah.
I think we can
Yeah.
all get behind that, right?
Yeah.
So you talked about your website, and I know that you have your work on your website, and from one seascape painter to another. I love your work, by the way.
Thank you.
Um,
I do love yours as well.
that's the best part about artists, right? We're always supporting one another.
Yes.
Where else can we see some of your work? Are you in galleries anywhere? Do you do fine art shows? You obviously show your work with us here at the American Artists Professionally. Again, go to
Absolutely.
AAPLpaint.org and join.
Yes, I wouldn't miss our 96 GNE, the once a year major show that we have at Salmagundi Club
Which I
in
did
New
also
York
just
City.
see that Salmagundi Club's joining us. Hello, Salmagundi
Oh,
Club.
hello, Salmagundi Club. We love being there and showing our work there, and actually hope a lot of artists come in and apply for the show. We select the best and most highest quality works for the Salmagundi show. It is our most important show, and I think every artist that has ever been a part of the show loves being there and is very, very proud. It's something amazing to put on your resume, not to mention the camaraderie at the show, and getting to know board members of the AAPL. Really, really a wonderful, great, great occasion. So if you have a chance to apply and get in, I would urge you to do that. But as far as exhibiting my own work, I have one gallery in Boulder in the town where I live, which is Mary Williams Fine Art. And they just hosted the Nope's Small Works show. And I think they hosted the plein air show a couple of months ago. They're a wonderful gallery, I think the best gallery in Boulder, that represents representational artists. And then Heritage Fine Arts in Taos, New Mexico, which is also, it's on the main drag, and a beautiful, beautiful gallery, has amazing works. And then Singular, which is based in Paris.
Oh wow, that's fantastic! So the next time I'm in Paris, I can't wait to go there.
Yeah, and I
Get back to
also
Paris.
every August I also exhibit my work in Zurich at their major international show in Zurich. I forget, it escapes me now what it's called, but yeah.
That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible.
Thank
So,
you.
what would you then say is your biggest accomplishment to date as a professional artist? Would it be something that you've created, a particular painting, or is there something else that you could think of that may be the best thing that you could point towards?
Honestly, my biggest accomplishment is getting to paint full time. I consider that a monumental achievement on my part. And it took a lot to get here. And, as far as paintings, I actually don't have the best painting I've ever done. And the reason is because I am always striving to improve my paintings. And so I'm always trying to improve my art. And so one of the questions I know you sent me also is what do you, oh my God, it just escaped me what I was going to say. But, yes, if I've ever kept a work of art and didn't want to sell it. And the answer is absolutely no, because I view each work of art as a training and a study opportunity, an opportunity to learn something. And once I'm done with it, I'm done with it. And so my husband, on the other hand, I have a few paintings around the house that he does not want to let go. But I have no such emotional attachment to paintings. And the reason is because I am always looking to learn from every new painting.
I think that's fantastic for any younger artists that are maybe aspiring to be full-time painters. For any students that are out there that are listening to this, this is great advice. I mean, I can concur with just about everything that you said. That with one exception, in that, and yes, my wife has said to me multiple times, "Yeah, that's great. You can't sell that. That's got to stay here." And she wins every argument in the house pretty much. So that there's that. I It's funny because I have a particular memory from undergrad days of a professor saying, "If you're making your best work now, you're in trouble." And I've sort of stuck with that saying, that
Yes.
even now into my 40s, saying, "Well, I want my best paintings to still be ahead of me." Not
Yes,
to say that I'm not
exactly.
super proud of half the things that I've done just in the last couple of months or even the last year or so, but there's that strive to, how can I grow? How can I push this?
Yeah,
How can I get better? What's my next challenge that's on the horizon? So
exactly. Because when you think, oh, that's my greatest painting, then what have you got left? You might as well just sit down and die.
yeah, right.
Because there's nothing else left. If there's no improvement and no growth, there's stagnation. So
Yeah, I can completely occur to that for anything. So I guess we're kind of coming towards sort of the end of some of the questions that I have. So I guess I'll just leave the last little bit for you and say, well, we know that you have your website, and we know what galleries you mentioned that we can see your work at. Do you have any upcoming special shows? Obviously, we've got a bunch of different shows with the American Artists Professional League that are on the way here, including, again, the 96th Grand National Exhibition being held at the Salmagundi Club. That's going to be going live, the application, on Juried Art Services soon. So keep a look out for that as well. But where else can we see what you're doing next as far as any shows?
So besides the GNE, I'm also going to be doing the show in Zurich in August.
Okay.
But I'm actually preparing myself to go live in Japan for a few months starting in September. And so I am really looking forward to, doing some Japanese motifs and maybe even delving into watercolor or calligraphy for the few months that I'm there, and hoping to come back with lots and lots and lots of material for new works.
That's fantastic. I'm jealous. I would love to do that. That sounds like there's a lot of interesting wave paintings that you're gonna have some fun doing.
Yeah, exactly. I just can't wait. It's going to be a completely new experience. And, us artists are always chasing new experiences. And so that's going to be mine in the future. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, we're definitely all going to be looking forward to seeing all the different pictures that you're posting on your social medias. You're definitely here on Instagram. Are you on Facebook as well?
I am on Facebook, yes.
All right, so everybody that's out there watching, find Julia's. She's an amazing artist. What's your Instagram handle for everybody out there to type in right now and start following you?
It's Julia_Bright_art.
There we go, everybody. Take a look. You won't be disappointed. Her work is amazing. You're also going to catch her work also at the Grand National Exhibition. And you're not going to be at that show because you'll be in Japan at that time, right?
Yes, well, that's right. That's
you'll
right.
Be there
but my work will be there.
Us. You'll, if you have the time, I know the time difference is probably crazy, but I'll be there and we'll have an Instagram live there. So you'll definitely be a part of the show virtually.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you so much, John. This has been a wonderful experience. And hi to everyone out there. And please come join AAPL and apply for our 96th Grand National Show.
That's right. And thank you, Julie, again for logging on. This is our first. Hopefully everybody out there watching has just been enjoying this as well. I know I've had a blast doing this. There's other art organizations that do these as well. So it's a great chance just to meet other artists. And I feel like one of the one of the added benefits to social media is remembering that you, when you're in your studio, you out there listening, out there in Instagram world, you're not alone, right? You may be alone in your studio space working, but we're all artists. We all sort of live and breathe and feel and the same exact kind of things, right? We're all our own toughest critics, and so those of you that are out there aspiring for representational and realism art, again, go to aaplinc.org. Join today, right? There's a lot of great opportunities. We also have another show that's going to be in Beacon, New York at the Howland Cultural Center. That's Realism on the Hudson. Look to see all of that. That's going to be an amazing show. I'm going to try my best to get up there as well and do an Instagram live from there. It's an amazing, amazing town and a supporter of the arts if people have never gotten up to there. I know it's obviously tough because we have a lot of people looking on. I've seen a few people logging on, and I know that they're from all over the country. And that's another added benefit to joining the American Artists Professional League. We are literally all over the country. That is a fantastic thing to be a part of. So head over there now, check out all the different shows. And thank you again for logging on and talking with me tonight. And next week, we're going to have another board member, Thursday, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Unless that changes for whatever reason, we'll let you all know. And we'll work on which board member that's going to be. I don't know. I don't want to call anybody out right now, but I've talked to a few of the other board members as far as who's next. Check off the list, if you will. So until then, I'll say thank you again very much. And
My pleasure, John. Okay, take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.